Hi, for this presentation I'm going to be talking about what popular culture is. What I'm going to talk about today for my assignment is how fans have made Game of Thrones into popular culture. The social platform I'm going to be looking at is Twitter, as everyone knows about it and talks about using it. Game of Thrones has a very huge fan base worldwide and especially on Twitter, and that is what I'm going to focus on throughout this presentation. To help get the information I need to help complete my conference paper, I'm going to use Christine Hines' methodology about virtual orthography. There she talks about how you never know what to expect from social media, as it is always changing. The theory I'm going to follow to help me get a better understanding is John Story's. From all of his 6 definitions of what popular culture is, I chose to talk about quantitative research of mass culture. I'm going to look at how big names like Lena Headey, Peter Dinklage and Sean Bean affect Game of Thrones. From all of John Story's definitions, I chose to talk about quantitative research and mass culture, because those are definitions that appeal to me the most as they relate to the media text that I am going to be talking about. So, what is popular culture, you may ask? Popular culture can be anything, as it is a sum of ideas, attitudes, perspectives and images. The more that things happen in popular culture, the more you are affected by it. Everyone is affected by popular culture. Look at your phones, you'll see a Twitter app, Facebook app and also a Tumblr app. Everyone has music, TV, movie apps that they can watch programs and films on the phones. Phones are the center of popular culture in a way. These are some examples of what popular culture is: fashion, music, TV, and finally film. Game of Thrones is a show that started in 2011 and is still going strong with its 6th season on TV, which started a few weeks ago. The UK viewing figures reached an all-time high as 60,000 fans tuned in at 2 a.m. to watch the first episode of this season. Game of Thrones is known as one of the most controversial shows on TV that keeps everyone on the end of the seat with anticipation. The show is based on George R.R. Martin's epic fantasy novel series called A Song of Fire and Ice. Game of Thrones takes place on the fictional continents of Westeros and Essos. Game of Thrones received a lot of controversy of the way they portrayed women. They were always getting treated unfairly and were always assaulted, which has all calmed down since season 1. As Franco said in a book, fan reactions come down strongly on both sides as blogs, popular culture magazines and the New York Times weigh in about the way women are treated on the show. As the show stirs up with its ever-increasing debate, its popularity soars, which shows that Game of Thrones would have been nothing without its fans, as they are the ones who bring attention to it, and the writers listened to them. The concern they showed how the portrayal of women changed because the viewers wanted it to change. They didn't change it entirely, but they changed some of it to make the fans feel better. But what Franco even says is that even though they did not agree with the scenes in the program, they still carried on watching it because the show is very obsessive. Twitter helped me observe fans' behaviour on social platforms using virtual orthography. The Twitter page for Game of Thrones is full of memes with scenes from the episodes. Actors from the show like Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams, Chris Van Houten join in with fans, giving their thoughts about the episode. They even take part in Q&As with their fans to make them feel more connected. What I found interesting is how fans can get a topic trending. There are a lot of trends that trend during the program, like hashtag GOT, which is short for Game of Thrones, or hashtag Game of Thrones and hashtag Catch Drogon. The trends usually change depending on what is happening in the program, like this week, hashtag Jon Snow is alive was trending. These trends show the fans' devotion toward the show and also shows how much of an impact Game of Thrones has on its viewers, keeping them talking about it. Game of Thrones will be trending just randomly at times, and that's where the fans are expressing excitement for the next episode, or it may be for a new theory they thought of or read of online. Fans could be watching the show because some of their favourite actors on the show, which is where my text links up with John Story's theory that popular culture is in fact an empty conceptual category, one that can be filled in a wide variety of often conflicting ways depending on the context of use. Also, of the huge stars in the show, the number of viewers could rise drastically, which again is showing popular culture. I also looked at how mass culture is produced and how the audience consumes it. Example, how George R.R. Martin produced his books, which was popular culture, but not as much as a show as it has gone global worldwide, which shows how the audience consumed it, turning it into popular culture. Now you should have a clear idea of what popular culture is and how it is a part of our everyday lives, and we looked at how social media is important to fans and how it's a way for them to come together to show their love for the show. We also looked at how virtual ethnography and John Story's theory go well together to get useful information on about fan culture. Thank you.